Welcome to a live look inside the Hawks' nest. I'm Adam Lucier. Joining me at the table, Matt Caldwell. National anthems out of the way, and these Humber Hawks are playing some of the finest volleyball we've seen all year, riding a 6-game win streak. And for the 3-7 Sheridan Bruins, I know you're crosstown rivals. I know it's always nice to get up for a Hawks game, but they're in tough tonight, Matt.
Yeah, you're exactly right. As you can see there, the Humber Hawks with a 6-game win streak shooting right up the standings, sitting there second. But as you said, yeah, coming into the Hawks' nest, the Bruins definitely have it tough. The Hawks have a 25-0 record at home versus the Sheridan Bruins, so it's going to be a tall order.
And it's time now to meet your Humber Hawks. Let's hear it.
And now here's the starting lineup for your Humber Hawks. The outside hitter from London, Ontario, number 10, Hannah Petkoff. The libero from Ajax, Ontario, number 2, Alex LaChapelle. The outside hitter from Burlington, Ontario, number 13, Haley Henderson. The middle from Toronto, Ontario, number 7, Alex Kirstonisson. The middle from Toronto, Ontario, number 12, Cheyenne Williams. The center from Uxbridge, Ontario, number 16, Alex Bartman. And the right side from Burlington, Ontario, number 8, Julia Watson. And the head coach of the Hawks is Chris Wilkins. He's by Mandy Doris and Cody Nyhawk.
There you have it, the starter for your Humber Hawks tonight. Amongst them, Cheyenne Williams, third-year player, transfer from Sheridan last year. She was on this Bruins squad for the 2019 campaign, now finds herself on the other side of the net as a member of the Hawks, leading the OCAA in blocks. What an addition she's been.
Yeah, she's been an absolute huge addition, especially on that defensive side. As you said, a huge presence at the net, and is definitely going to be something that the Bruins are going to be aware of.
And speaking of those Bruins, keep an eye out for Tamia Cooper-Evelyn, top offensive player for the Bruins. She's going to be in tough tonight against this big, talented front court of the Humber Hawks. The captain, Alex Bartman, getting us underway. The tip is over, and 2 we go, and that's a quick point and a shrug of the shoulders for Celine Blanchette.
Yeah, a pretty easy play there. A little bit of a rough pass, a little bit close to the net, but a good job there by number 15, Blanchette, to get it over in 2 and to throw off the Humber defense.
Serve by Blanchette is over. First touch for the Hawks. Bartman back set on the far side, and that one's down. Haley Henderson with the kill.
Yeah, Henderson coming right back, saying, hey, you know, that little early cheeky play is going to go right into the books. We're going to get the ball back, and back at the service line is Humber.
All knotted up at 1. Here's Henderson. Touches over Blanchette at the net. She's going to tee this one up to Abrahams. Floaters over. Second touch goes to Bartman. Here's Watson off the block. It goes. Blanchette gets it up. Here's Romans. Far side now. Over the block it goes. LaChapelle with the touch. Bartman now. This one returned by the Sheridan. Backcourt, Cooper-Evelyn. That one is out of there. Point goes to the Hawks, 2-1.
Yeah, good little rally there, and definitely one of those rallies, those long rallies at the beginning of the game that you really do want to win. So fortunate for Humber to get that little bit of too much gas on that free ball.
Here come the Bruins off the block of Kirstonisich. Bartman with the set, looking for Kirstonisich. That one's off the net. Push volley, a free ball now for the Hawks. Bartman. That one's down. Hannah Petkoff just sails that one long. Point goes towards the Bruins. Coach Wilkins can't believe it. Not too happy with that call from the line judge.
Yeah, Humber definitely thinking that went off of an arm at some point. Both umpires on each side of the court saying no dice, as that point's going to go to Sheridan.
2-2 is your score. LaChapelle with the dig. Kirstonisich in the middle, and Blanchette can't do anything with that. Humber regains the lead, 3-2.
Once again, good job of Humber answering back, getting that point right back, dusting that little bit of an error off shoulders.
So away we go, Krstanicic on the service line. Cooper Evelyn gets that one up. She'll get it right back off the block. That's Cheyenne Williams and Watson on the net. Cooper Evelyn once again into the net. Hearing those footsteps of the Humber Hawks. Humber now doubling up Sheridan, 4-2.
Yeah, once again, maybe just hearing and seeing that big pressure at the net from Humber, maybe just getting a little bit in the head of Evelyn Cooper.
Cheyenne Williams standing at 6'1", tallest player on the floor. That serve from Henderson goes just long. That'll award a point back to the Bruins. It's 4-3.
So far, pretty back and forth here to start this one off. Humber looking like maybe not the best start they were looking for here.
Trying to get on track. Bartman with the bump set. There's Hannah Petkoff, but once again into the net. Miscue there, 4-all.
I think maybe just not quite having the best passes there off of that service return as it goes into the net.
Here's Catherine Conkle. That one's over. First touch Petkoff, back set. Julia Watson off the white tape. A lot of action on that net there. 4-touch violation for the Humber Hawks. Sheridan regains the lead. 5-4 now. Back and forth we go.
Yeah, Humber was hoping that Sheridan got some hands on it, but no dice as the ball goes completely off the white tape. Doesn't quite go over the net.
Nice dig there by LaChapelle. Free ball now for the Bruins. Abrahams puts it to Blanchette. Gonna have to chase this one down, not the set. The Bruins were looking for an unforced error. We'll tie this one up.
Yeah, unfortunate try on that set there. Maybe just moving a little bit too quickly for her hands there. Pulling it too far out of bounds for the hit attempt.
Julia Watson sends that one over. Blanchette looking for help. Cooper Evelyn off the fingertips of the block. Sheridan will get the point on that one as we see Cooper Evelyn now getting involved.
Yeah, Cooper Evelyn maybe starting to feel the rhythm of the game here, starting to get going. So that could be a real dangerous weapon that Sheridan will use throughout this entire game.
Set from Bartman, looking for Hannah Petkoff. This one's off the block. Nice recovery. Point will be awarded to the Hawks on the two-touch violation. Cooper Evelyn tried to push volley that one back over.
A good job there by Humber to get right back into the rhythm as once again it's been pretty back and forth here early in this one as we see Petkoff with her first service.
Knotted up at 6. Blanchette up there, back to Cooper Evelyn. Nice work there by LaChapelle. Bartman looking for Watson. This one trending towards the backcourt and will find a home. Julia Watson getting it done with the kill.
Yeah, Sydney Romans there on the Bruins calling it out, and she patted herself on the chest saying, yeah, that was my bad, guys. So that was a really good spot on the court.
Petkoff back on the service line. That floater just in front of Romans, a service ace for Hannah Petkoff. Make that her 10th on the year. Hannah Petkoff getting it done. A nice little run from the line. Puts the Hawks up by 2, 8-6. Serve trending long and is. Good call by Romans there as Sheridan comes back within 1.
Yeah, Romans picking herself up there of the little bit of a missed call a few plays earlier. Now only down by 1.
Cooper Evelyn on the line now. Offensive leader for this Bruins squad. First touch to Henderson from the backcourt. Bump set Watson. Nice play there by Hannah Petkoff as she goes off the block.
And a good job by Humber, doing a really good job picking themselves up. Not quite the pass they were looking for off of the service as we get a good hit there going right off the Sheridan block and out of bounds.
Not to whine, but that did just spill my coffee on that errant ball there, but the game moves on. Blanchette over into Roman, sets that one up on the block. Back it goes. Cooper Evelyn. First touch there by Hannah Petkoff went off the chair umpire. So a hard struck ball by Cooper Evelyn makes it a 9-8 game.
And you saw there Petkoff just going with the solid hands and trying to deflect it off the hands as that would have been a really tough volley off of a good strong hit by Cooper Evelyn. Unfortunately, just wasn't quite in bounds as it goes off the chair umpire.
Neither team able to pull away just yet, but Krstanicic puts that one off the arm of Cooper Evelyn. A big look and kill there for Alex Krstanisic.
Yeah, really nice play there by Krstanisic, doing a really good job on that meter ball set. Putting it right down and burying it.
Team captain Alex Bartman on the line. Cooper Evelyn gets the first touch to Blanchette. Little miscommunication there. Point awarded to the Hawks as they're starting to find a little bit of a comfortable lead here, 11-8. Bartman's gonna return to the line here.
Yeah, maybe the Hawks starting to find a little bit of that rhythm there. So they're gonna look to go on a little bit of a run here from the service line.
One trending towards the backcourt, off the knees of a Sheridan player, and down for a service ace. Tani Derev couldn't get out of the way, and that's gonna force a timeout for Amar Balkaran, head coach of the Sheridan Bruins. Matt, what do you think about this timeout call here? You see Humber back and forth we went. We're tied up for a good portion of this set number one. Humber finds himself squeaking away a little bit, 4-point lead, and Coach Amar says that's it, timeout.
Yeah, definitely a solid call there by Sheridan to go take it, look things over, talk it over, as a couple of unforced errors have started to see Humber with a little bit of a lead now. Largest lead of the day so far at 4 points. As, yeah, they're just going to try to stop the momentum in its tracks here right now as they talk things over.
Chris Wilkins having a chat with his squad. You've seen his brother Wayne in the stands with Hank Ma there. That men's team is going to take to the court at 8 p.m. Two of the most accomplished and more experienced men in all of OCAA volleyball. Of course, Humber is more than lucky to have the Wilkins brothers on our side.
Yeah, definitely on both courts, lots of experience by both men. As you can see, that experience kind of trickle into the way they coach these squads, and you can see both teams, men and women, are in the top of their conference.
This women's team, number 3 ranked in the province, number 15 ranked nationally with a 6-game win streak. They're trying to climb even higher as that strike is out for the Bruins. Point to the Hawks. It's 13-8.
Yeah, Bruins trying their shot at a little bit of a meter ball set. First one we've seen from them so far. Unfortunately, it sails out of bounds.
Bartman making a home for herself on the service line. Away she goes. That one clears. Not a great first touch from Cooper Evelyn. That unforced error will tack on another point for the Hawks. They're up to 14.
As we see her doing her work from the service line, she's actually only about 100 assists away from crossing that 1,000 mark. As you know, that's definitely one of those accomplishments that you don't see too often.
Just about 8 assists away from 900. Bartman trying to be the first Hawk to ever collect 1,000 career assists in their career, as that one drops down in front of Cooper Evelyn, as the Hawks are finding themselves with a comfortable lead here, pulling away from the Bruins. Now 15-8.
That's not what you want to see if you're Amar Balkaran, from your guys taking that time out, trying to stop that momentum, only to see Humber just pick it right back up once again.
I'm sure the Bruins would love to get Bartman off the line here. She's on an absolute tear. Another good-looking serve. Blanchette puts that one sky high. Abraham's over. First touch, La Chapelle. Back set. Julia Watson off the block and down. Another good-looking kill for Julia Watson.
Yeah, Julia Watson showing off that strength that we've seen so often this season, as just not quite tight to the net is the Sheridan block. So that's going to drop in front of them.
Surprise, surprise, it's Bartman on the line. That one just clears. First touch, Cooper Evelyn. Blanchette to Abrahams. That cross court is out. And Humber continues this incredible run all the way up to 17-8. We're going to see another timeout charged to these Sheridan Bruins. That first timeout did diddly squat to get them back in this game.
Yeah, for sure. They definitely had a little bit of some problems there with the passing off of Bartman's serve. Maybe that is a testament to the movement that we aren't quite seeing here from the broadcast table. But yeah, Sheridan having a tough time getting that real good pass to their setter so they can get something started and try to get Bartman off this line. Not quite working so far.
Game of runs, just like basketball. Volleyball, present as ever, those runs. We've seen one here. This was a 6-6, 7-7, 8-8 game. Now all of a sudden, Bartman gets herself to the line, uses her experience, uses her strengths. And all of a sudden, it's 17-8. And this set one could become a little bit of a laugher when it started out pretty tense.
Yeah, exactly. Starting off this game, Humber maybe not thinking Sheridan was going to come out so strong, but you know, halfway through this set, now Humber really starting to find themselves, as we've seen Bartman just go on an absolute tear from the service line.
That's exactly right. A couple milestones. Keep your eye on this game. Bartman now just 5 assists away from reaching 900 for a career. Julia Watson needs just 3 more points to reach 100. So a very strong, very deep Humber Hawks team. Chance to write their names in the history books here tonight. Bartman once again with the serve. First touch Romans, Blanchette, far side Abrahams. That one's over. LaChapelle towards the net. Free ball as Krstanicic pushes it over. And that's set by Blanchette. Can't find a home as the Sheridan Bruins scrambling here, now down 10. 18-8 is your score.
That was a really good play there on the net by number 13, Henderson, as she did a really good job waiting for that ball to come bounce off the net and does a really good job getting it up and able to get Humber a point.
What a run it's been from Bartman. She continues. In the middle it goes. LaChapelle with the dig. Bartman to Krstanicic in the middle. Big block. LaChapelle gets to it, showing her defensive capabilities. Cooper Evelyn pushes that one over. Bartman to Krstanicic, over in 2 and down. A big kill for number 7, Krstanicic.
Yeah, really good job. That was pretty much all she could do from that part, but not really quite reading it were the Sheridan Bruins, as they didn't quite get a block out to challenge in time.
This one quickly getting away from Sheridan. May have already gotten away. 19-8 is your score, as Bartman is not getting off the service line for anything at the moment. And finally, on her own doing, she'll give possession back to the Sheridan Bruins. A service error, but what a run to open up this entire set one for the Hawks.
Yeah, the Hawks now with their largest lead at 10. Yeah, Alex Bartman doing a really good job there on the service line, really stretching out this lead.
Serve over for the Bruins, digging that one out. Bartman with the bump set. Julia Watson off the block. Nice work there by Catherine Conkle and Tani Durev for the Bruins. Double team block gets it done.
And there was that solid defensive read by the Sheridan, reading all the way that they were going to go to Julia.
Katie Sands on the service line. That little float serve is over. Petkoff corrals it. There's Bartman, Krstanicic. That one off the ricochet is back up. Free ball for the Hawks. LaChapelle, Bartman, Krstanicic. Put another one on the board for Krstanicic.
And Humber doing what Humber does best, especially when they're given these free balls. Humber loves to take advantage when they can, as you see Krstanicic doing what she does best in the middle of that court, just burying that kill.
And a favorable bounce for the Humber Hawks as that serve from Henderson just trails off the white tape and flips over. As if the Hawks needed any more bounces, up 21-10. They get themselves another one. Henderson back on the line. Float serve, touched by Romans. In the middle it goes, and a big block for Krstanicic as she continues her domination here. It's set one.
Yeah, in the later half of this set, Krstanicic starting to find her momentum here, as she's been absolutely all over the court the past couple of points. Really good job there. She did a really well done read on the net.
Right on top of the net, Watson pops it up. Here's Bartman, back to Watson. Kill is down. Julia's on a tear.
Julia Watson with that big left arm of hers. She loves to swing. As we take a look at that replay, she's going to put it right in between number 4, Manella, and, excuse me, can't seem to find it.
That one off the white tape for Haley Henderson. That'll give possession back towards the Sheridan Bruins. They got a whole lot of work cut out for them here in set number one, finding themselves down 12. Hawks 2 points away from taking the set. Abrahams gets it over, but that one's not going to find a home. Hawks now on set point, 24-11. Started out as awfully close, but Hawks pulled away. Thanks in big part to the captain, Alex Bartman, going on one heck of a service run. Set up here for the Bruins off the block of Williams. Julia Watson pops that one up. Williams in the middle. Roman sends that sky high. Cooper Evelyn off the block and down. Sheridan not done just yet.
Yeah, Sheridan's not going to go home quietly. They are coming out firing here late, as they are going to want to try to keep this as close as they can to keep their momentum rolling into the next set.
Catherine Conkle trying to get this one over, just does. Hawks scrambling. Petkov can't get this one over, so on set point, couple of miscues by the Hawks keeps the Bruins alive.
And it keeps the Bruins alive, but either way, that was a really good serve, giving a couple of the Humber Hawks a little bit of problems off of that service as they couldn't quite get the pass.
Conkle just gets that one over off the white tape, but it is out. The service error will end set number 1. Your final score, 25-13, as the Hawks take a dominating set number 1 victory.
Yeah, as you said, dominating. It wasn't quite as dominating there at the start. Bruins really showing that they were coming out firing, but you know, halfway through that set, we started to see Humber start to really settle down, especially Alex Barman from the service line, going on quite of a run.
Definitely the turning point in that set number 1 was that Bartman service run. So he put the Hawks up big, up 10, 11, 12 at some points. But for Sheridan, they played some good volleyball right off the hop, came in, and was playing tight against these Hawks. They gotta like what they've seen. Maybe just that run let it get a little too crazy for them.
Yeah, Bruins just really started to have a little bit of problems getting that first pass over to that setter the way they need to be able to get that attack going, especially to be able to set up Cooper Evelyn. She didn't quite get as many of the touches at the net as the Bruins are probably looking forward to get. As we go forward, probably going to see more touches from Cooper Evelyn.
Yeah, that's a good point, Matt. Cooper Evelyn, 92 kills on the year. She averages 2.5 kills per set. Looking up at that scoreboard, though, just 1 kill to her name so far, so you gotta imagine they want to feed the ball to her much more, as you said, in set number 2.
Yeah, we saw them trying to go to her as much as they can, but once again, just the passes weren't quite there. They weren't quite able to get them to Blanchette the way they need to really comfortably get that set and sort of throw off the Humber block, because when you are having a little bit of a problem getting that first pass to the setter, you can really tell on the defensive side where that ball is going to go next, and you can really come up with a big block.
That's exactly right. This is an intimidating front court for the Hawks. And leading the way for them, number 7, Alex Kirstanisic, already had 5 kills for the day. She was the Hawks Nation player of the game last time out against Conestoga, racked up 9 kills, 2 blocks, and a service ace, and she's picking up right where she left off.
Yeah, exactly. This snowball that we call Humber Hawks is growing each day, each game. They just seem to get stronger and stronger, and it happens all throughout the court, whether it's Alex Barman, whether it's Kostanisic, whether it's Watson. Humber really has the depth, and they really show that they have the depth, and they are proving that here in the first set of this one.
Yeah, you mentioned that depth, Matt. The Hawks have 4 players with over 50 kills on the season. Kostanisic has 50. She's adding to that total tonight. 57 for Cheyenne Williams, 60 for Petkov, and Julia Watson leading the way with 79. So players all over the floor could score for the Hawks, and we've seen more of that tonight. Kind of a pointed attack for Sheridan. You want to get the ball to Cooper Evelyn before these Hawks. And the Bruins defense, you don't know where that ball is going. Whole lot of big hitters at the front court.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely just going to see if these Bruins can sort of get their offense going to try to match this powerhouse that is the Humber Hawks, especially with them starting to get on a little bit of a roll here at the end of that first set and into the second one.
Seems as though we're just about ready to get started here in set number 2. Hawks trying to go ahead 2-0. Julia Watson, Hannah Petkov, Alex LaChapelle, Haley Henderson, Alex Bartman, and Alex Kirstanisic are going to start the set for the Hawks. Service is going to go the way of Sheridan. Back it up to the line is Celine Blanchette. So let's see what tale will be written here in set number 2. Sheridan kept it close early in the first set before giving up a big lead. Bartman now in the middle to Kirstanisic. That one's blocked. Watson, Bartman back to Watson. This one's through and that one's down. Julia Watson continuing right where she left off in set 1.
Yeah, Julia Watson hitting one of her more favorite spots on the court, that back baseline that she loves to shoot for more often than not, as once again we see that there.
Don't look now if you're the Bruins, but team captain Bartman on the line. They had a hard time stopping her. Romans gets the set up. There's TCE. That's blocked by Krastonicic and Watson. Back set now. Not the hit Abrahams was looking for as that goes right into the net. 2-0 for Humber.
Yeah, Abraham's showing a little bit of frustration there, as that was going to look to be her first kill of the game. Unfortunately, she couldn't get that one to quite get a solid hit off the hand.
Like a broken record, Bartman on the service line. Just over the white tape. Blanchette with the low set. That one gets down right in the middle of the court, splitting LaChapelle and Bartman.
Yeah, doing a good job there. Not quite going with that meter ball set too often, so that when they do, it's a little bit of a surprise, catching Humber a little bit off guard there, as we see Conco getting in on the action.
Abrahams with the jump serve. That one trending out and is. Point goes towards Humber. They find themselves up early here, 3-1.
And the Bruins really need to focus on getting these serves in, as the unforced errors are really the difference maker here, as that started to bite them in the butt last set, starting to bite them in the butt for early in this set.
See an error there from Haley Henderson as she was trying to find that back court just a little long. Service now back to the Bruins. Catherine Conkle, first-year player, ready to get us underway. LaChapelle, here's Bartman. Near side, Julia Watson taking over this game.
Julia Watson, once again with that big swing at the left arm. Absolutely amazing to see what she can do when she gets those big, solid sets from that captain, Alex Bartman.
Julia Watson hitting 100 points on the year with that last kill. Congratulations to Julia for hitting that century mark. Another big season for her.
Yeah, big season that is still got quite a ways to go here. We are just about over the halfway part of the season, so still lots more volleyball to be played.
Bartman with the one-handed assist to Cheyenne Williams, and that one finds nothing but court.
Cheyenne Williams showing exactly what the Bruins are missing when with the shift of teams. Cheyenne Williams, one of those people that can really do it on both sides of the ball, blocking or going for the attacks.
Back-to-back history making points, as that was Alex Bartman's 900 career assists. First player in Humber history to do so. She's the all-time program leader. Now, Matt, it's the march to 1,000. Let's see if she can hit 4 digits.
Yeah, it's definitely, again, one of those milestones that kind of sits in the back of your mind as a player. But Alex Bartman, being the veteran that she is, she knows she'll probably be able to get there eventually.
That one over by Petkoff. Blanchette with the set near side, punched over. Petkoff, Bartman, Cheyenne Williams off the fingertips. Bruins scrambling. This one over, free ball. Bartman looking for Williams again, trying to find that back court, and it is down.
And Humber once again capitalizing on the free balls that the Bruins are giving them, as we see Cheyenne Williams with a very nice swing there, as that's going to force the Bruins to take another timeout.
When the Hawks took a 4-point lead in set 1, Marball Karen took a timeout. Now the Hawks up by 4 early once again in set number 2, and yet another timeout for the Bruins. As all of a sudden, after about 8-8 in that first set, they started to unravel a little bit here, Matt.
Yeah, it started to unravel there in the first set. Now starting to unravel just a touch earlier here, as we take a look at some of the great plays. That big swing there by Cheyenne Williams.
Gotta feel good for Cheyenne Williams. She was playing for the Powder Blue Sheridan Bruins this time last year. Third-year OCAA athlete coming over to Humber on a transfer. Mentioned the great addition she's been. Her 32 blocks coming in today. Leads the OCAA, but it's got to be extra sweet picking up those points against your old team.
Yeah, almost. You know, sometimes maybe you leave a team on sour notes. Probably didn't leave this one on sour note, as you know, usually just with a school transfer that doesn't really happen. But you know, when you are playing that team that you just left, yeah, you just want to show them that, hey, this is what you're missing out. I'm just as good as when I was playing with you, maybe better, who knows.
Absolutely, not a far trip from Sheridan to Humber, but Cheyenne Williams, we're glad you made it. What an addition she's been for Chris Wilkins.
Yeah, these teams separated by a 20-minute drive down Steeles Avenue.
Metcalf on the far side. That's off the block and another Humber point. So after that timeout, Humber collects another quick one, now up 5, 8-3.
And that timeout, usually what you're doing is just trying to break up that momentum. So far, these 3 timeouts that the Bruins have taken haven't really been successful in breaking up the Humber momentum.
Metcalf once again off the block. Romans gets to it for the Bruins. Blanchette up to Cooper Evelyn, not the touch she was looking for, as that's off the pinky finger and finds its way down on the Bruins side.
Yeah, she didn't quite get the approach for that attack that she was looking for either, as she didn't quite get the jump off the court she was looking for, as that just kind of tips off the fingers and didn't really go anywhere.
Similar to Bartman in set 1, Julia Watson now going on a nice service run for the Hawks. Cooper Evelyn off the block of Cheyenne Williams. Here's Bartman looking for Williams. That one's off the block and down as Cheyenne's having fun out there. She's having a great start to set 2.
Yeah, Cheyenne Williams really starting to feel herself there, as that was another big swing going hard off the block and out of bounds.
With Watson on the service line, Cheyenne Williams is the big hitter you're looking to. She's got all the touches. Julia's going to find her way off the line with that service error, now 10-4 Hawks.
Yeah, Sheridan really do need to just kind of focus up here, get these serves, trying to focus on not causing too many unforced errors, as yes, that has definitely been the decision maker, the deciding factor so far in this one.
Nice bump set there by Bartman. Julia Watson tried to find a home cross court, unable to do so. Sheridan now within 5. Going back for the service. Tandy Durev, first-year player for the Bruins out of Niagara, Ontario. Jump serve is away, a little bit of a floater. LaChapelle with the touch. Backcourt, it's Petkov. Julia Watson just giving up that free ball. Blanchette looking for help in the middle. LaChapelle with the dig. Unable to get to that ball there is Julia Watson. So give the Bruins some credit here. Went down big early, 9-3 at one point. Now a 10-6 game.
And these Bruins starting to claw back here, as they are not trying to give away any more here to the Humber Hawks.
Bartman looking for Williams once again, and she'll get herself another kill. Cheyenne Williams has been electric here.
Yeah, Cheyenne Williams really just looking at some of her old teammates going, I'm going to aim at you and see how hard I can hit it off of your bump. It seemed to be working so far for her, and you can definitely tell she's going to keep with that going.
Well, the best kind of momentum is momentum, and that's what Cheyenne Williams has going for her right now. That one's through the block and down for Abraham, so Sheridan staying alive just in the rearview mirror, 11-7.
And just when maybe Humber starts to say, hey, no, you're not allowed to come back into this game, the Bruins not giving up, as we see Emma Wilson,
You mentioned time and time again those unforced errors and service errors rearing its ugly head for the Bruins. And right there, you're bringing it to 11-7, maybe have a little bit of spark on your side and you give the ball right back with an error.
Yeah, those service errors on the line are definitely one of the biggest momentum killers.
Romans with the first touch. Blanchette in the middle to Conkle. Right on top of the net it goes. Going to be an interesting call that goes the way of the Hawks. Net violation charged against the Bruins.
Yeah, Conkle trying to go head-to-head there. Just wasn't quite able to win out, as the call is going to go in favor of the Hawks, as that one almost could have went either way.
Back-to-back serves for Williams. It's 13-7. This one right in close to the net, and that'll award another point for the Hawks. A two-touch violation charged against Blanchette and the Bruins. These unforced errors, again, causing issues.
As Blanchette is going to take a seat, grab some water, as it'll be Matthews checking into the game for her.
We've already seen a nice service run from Watson here in set 2. Cheyenne Williams trying to craft one of her own. And just like that, it's up in smoke as that one goes a little bit long as Williams checks out for LaChapelle. Float serve is over. LaChapelle with the first touch. Here's Bartman, far side. Haley Henderson can't avoid the net. And that violation will put up the 9th point on the board for the Sheridan Bruins.
And for those of you listening on 96.9, we usually have antennas on each side of the nets showing where the out of bounds is. As that one, the ball went right off of that antenna, as that's an automatic whistle down, that's out of bounds.
Krstanicic with a big kill. Seen a lot of her in set one. That's the first time we've seen her here in set two. She's been dynamite.
Yeah, keeping her roll going is number 7, as she has a smile on her face, enjoying her game so far, almost halfway through this one.
Krstanicic was the Hawks Nation player of the game last time out against Conestoga, continuing her strong play. Cooper Evelyn goes up. Roman's gonna bump over a free ball. Here's Bartman. Now Henderson off the block. That one's popped to the sky. Back set there to Abrahams. Cross court. Watson gets to it. Krstanicic tries to go over. Dug out by LaChapelle. Now Watson near side. Romans puts that one up for the Bruins. Cooper Evelyn over. Petkoff. Bartman. Now Henderson off the block. And the Bruins recover. We got a nice rally forming here. Free ball now for the Hawks. Henderson. Bartman looking for help. Krstanicic. That one's popped into the seats. And a hard-earned point there for the Hawks. Puts them up 16-9.
Yeah, there haven't been too many long rallies like that. And those are the ones you really do want to win, as Humber comes out on top with that one. That's going to send Alex Bartman to the service line. And the way she's been serving so far, this could mean lights out against the Bruins.
Another healthy lead for the Hawks, now up 7. Cooper Evelyn off the block. Krstanicic and Watson were there. Far side, Abrahams. Off the net it goes. Romans tries to get it off the net, but no use, as there's a 4-touch violation for Sheridan. 17-9, the Hawks lead. Bartman gonna remain on the line.
Yeah, it looks like on that attempt there by the Bruins, couldn't quite get the run-up she was looking for, and that went right into the net. As, yeah, once again, Alex Bartman seeing what she can do.
Romans with the first touch. In the middle it goes. Krstanicic with the block. Just a soft touch off the fingertips for Alex.
Yeah, a really good job there is Krstanicic just to stay on that net, to stay sticking with her, as that definitely could have come over in 2, but she did a good job reading that they were going right up. And there was the big block against Conkle.
Bartman on a roll. There's Romans. Cooper Evelyn with a push volley. That's trending out, but just finds the line. LaChapelle thought that one was going to be wide, but instead it finds the court. Sheridan now in double digits, 18-10.
And when you're the player who has to get it over on the 3rd and you know you're giving up a free ball, you really do want to try to bury it as far as you can into one of the back corners, or try to find the setter. Evelyn Cooper doing a really good job there, finding one of those back corners. But Humber answering right back with a big, big swing there.
Krstanicic just dropped the hammer down on the Sheridan Bruins. That was a no-doubter of a kill. As we'll take a look at that last big swing coming off the hands of Krstanicic.
Yeah, Carrie Matthews looking a little bit on her heels there. Wasn't quite expecting that one to come right for her. Definitely gonna want to go over with his team as the Bruins coach, just trying to get their heads back into this, try to shake off some of the mental errors that have been happening, try to shake off losing that really long rally, and just get themselves back into this one.
Yeah, they were neck and neck with these Humber Hawks about the first 10 points of that set number 1, but ever since that Bartman service run, it's been all Hawks. They've really led the way this entire set here, now just 6 points away from closing it out. So as the Six God plays over the loudspeakers, Drake playing in the house, a pretty good crowd on hand tonight to take in some OCAA volleyball action.
Yeah, usually bringing in a good crowd whenever these two schools get together, no matter the sport. As you said, another good turnout here at the Hawks Nest.
You mentioned just a 20-minute drive down the road, Matt. These Sheridan Bruin fans always travel well. But it seems as though they're outnumbered a good deal by the Hawks faithful. That's what we want to see. Inside the Hawks Nest, back underway, set number 2. 19-10, the Hawks lead. Henderson with the float serve. Cooper Evelyn over top of the block. LaChapelle with the bump. Bartman, Watson. Roman sends that one up sky high. Abrahams gets to it. Conkle, bump over. LaChapelle, Bartman, Watson once again off the block, trying to stretch out was Bartman. Couldn't get the pancake down. And Sheridan brings it within 8.
Yeah, Sheridan a really good job showing that net presence there, as we haven't quite seen that game really develop here for Sheridan, but they're doing a really good job sticking with Watson. They read that all the way. Good block.
Bartman looking for Krstanicic, and she's continuing her strong night. Now in double digits for kills on the evening. That's her 10th.
Yeah, leading everybody on the court by a fair margin is Krstanicic, as she's putting a game back-to-back from last game as well.
Set up to Cooper Evelyn. Cross court she goes. Good eye by Bartman, letting that sail wide. 21-11 now. The Hawks take a 10-point edge. Krstanicic has been a big story tonight. Third-year veteran, a key piece last year, showing she's still got it. Near side it goes. That's a tough-looking ball. Can't get it over off the hands of Tani Durev.
Yeah, Carrie Matthews telling her teammate, my bad, not quite the set that she was looking for.
Bruins have had a really tough time tonight getting these Hawks off the line. Krstanicic having a nice little run herself. Cooper Evelyn over top of the block. Henderson gets to it. Bartman looking far side to Cassidy Andrews. And a scramble there, not what the Hawks were looking for. 4-touch violation. Sheridan stays alive. Cooper Evelyn back her team down 10. Gonna look for one of those runs the Hawks have been tearing up all night long. First touch, Henderson right on top of the net. That won't be playable. So a poor forced touch will award another point to Sheridan, down 22-13.
And maybe a little bit of late life on that serve from Cooper Evelyn, as that ball went a little bit higher up the arm than Henderson as she would have liked on that bump.
Another serve right to Henderson, this time a little better. Bartman with the bump set. There's Watson beating the block. That one's popped up and sent over by Matthews. LaChapelle for the Hawks in the middle, it's Williams. That one's dug out by the Bruins. Over it goes. LaChapelle with the first touch. Bartman couldn't get to it at the net, so the Bruins putting together a nice little run of their own. Still a good distance between them and the Hawks, but now 22-14.
And a tough play there at the net for Alex Bartman, as it was in that kind of mid-range where it might have gone off the bottom of the net, might have caught the net, or might not completely miss the net. That one just missing the net, as Bartman couldn't quite get there in time.
Cassidy Andrews off the block and down. A good look for the defense of the Bruins, as they're now within 7. Cooper Evelyn, the offensive leader for her squad, bringing them back here in set number 2. Still a long ways to go. Jump serve is over, corralled by Henderson. Bartman looking for Williams right in the middle, and that'll put an end to the Sheridan run. The former Bruin quieting down her rival team. Now Julia Watson for the Hawks. Oh, so valuable to Chris Wilkins in this squad. That serve is over. Over and 2 it goes. LaChapelle with a good looking dig. That one just clears. Scrambling now, free ball here, and that one's gonna trail out. So give some credit to Alex LaChapelle. That's a good looking dig that just squeaked its way over the net.
Yeah, just squeaked its way over the net is right. Definitely the good bounce there for the Humber Hawks, as we see the replay. Cheyenne Williams with a nice swing.
Gonna have to scramble here for the Bruins. Romans with a free ball over for the Hawks. Watson, Bartman looking in the middle. Cassidy Andrews. That one just a tad long. 24-16. The Hawks on set point.
Haven't seen too much of Cassidy Andrews in this one. Maybe Bartman trying to get her going here late in set number 2.
Andrews has a big swing when she gets a hold of one. Hawks try to close out this set. Andrews with the bump. Over it goes to Bartman. Free ball. Cooper Evelyn in the middle. It's Matthews. That one's off the block. Romans gets it high in the air. And another free ball. Can the Hawks take advantage? Over and 1 it goes. Bartman recovers at the net. LaChapelle looking for Andrews. That one's touched over. A rally forming here. Matthews now from the backcourt off the block. LaChapelle, Bartman, Andrews off the block and down. And the Hawks takes set number 2 after a fast-paced rally. 25-16, your final score.
And once again, Humber coming out on top in these long, tough rallies, as that is definitely what you want to look for if you're Chris Wilkins, as Humber going up 2 sets to nothing here.
We'll try to close it out. And for the Sheridan Bruins, they had a nice little glimmer of hope there in the middle of set number 2. Cooper Evelyn had a nice run from the line, but the Hawks putting that to bed. And they stormed all the way to the 25-point set 2 victory.
As we take a look at the replay, that swing just going in between the arms of Carrie Matthews and dropping not quite tight enough as they needed to be on that block to compete with the strength of Andrews.
Yeah, we've seen some strong right arms. Cassidy Andrews has hammered some home. Julia Watson, Alex Kersanisic, Howie the Hawk showing off the arm as well, giving out defend the nest shirts to the Humber faithful. Always a good time when Sheridan and Humber meet any sport inside the Hawks nest. Hasn't been too friendly to Sheridan whatsoever. Humber leads the series 54-2 all time. Those 2 losses coming all the way back in the 1991-1992 season. So fair to say, the Hawks have certainly had the Bruins number when it comes to women's OCAA volleyball.
Yeah, you can definitely say that again. I mentioned off the top of the broadcast that Humber, it's home sweet home for them at the Hawks Nest versus the Bruins, going 25-0 all time. So yeah, absolute dominating when they are at home at the Hawks Nest, as we see more of the same here tonight.
Always an intimidating place to play, at least if you're not in the blue and yellow. Hawks have dominated this series, and for Fanshawe, they're 3-7 on the year. I'm sure not the record they're hoping to have coming into this season, but they have played well as of late. They took the number 4 nationally ranked Fanshawe Falcons all the way to 5 sets and lost by just 5 points. And before that, they had a nice sweep of Cambrian and a sweep of Boreal. So despite that loss, they have been playing some quality volleyball as of late, but they're running into a bit of a buzzsaw when it comes to these Humber Hawks running that 6-game win streak.
Yeah, and I think especially coming off of the break, when you go and face a team like the Fanshawe Falcons and only just to lose very narrowly by 5 points, that's a really good effort there by Sheridan. And that's definitely the start to this second half of the season they were looking for. But yeah, when you come into the home court of the Humber Hawks, it doesn't really matter what you were doing before. They kind of just turn out the flames, blow them out, whatever you want to call it. They just do their thing when they're at home, and they do it better than pretty much anybody.
That's exactly right, Matt. You mentioned how the break could affect a team. Not a whole lot of a break for the Humber Hawks, as they played a 14 tournament with some of the better programs in all of North America down in sunny San Diego. Came away 2nd place in that tournament. Part of that field, the number 1 nationally ranked VIU Mariners. So they didn't spend their break eating fruitcake and drinking eggnog. They spent it on the court, showing they still got the strength, they got the might, and they're flexing their muscles here against the Bruins tonight.
Exactly, and when you have that opportunity to go and keep your sort of mid-season form and avoid going on a 3-week break, kind of sort of jump at that opportunity. And for both the men and women in the Humber organization, they both went on a couple of trips, coming away with a little bit of hardware. And yeah, just something like that really keeps your team in tip-top shape, especially coming in to the second half.
Now we're going into set number 3 here. First one underway, a serve by Bartman could not be returned by the Bruins. A quick 1-0 lead for the Hawks. As we mentioned, they've been looking at mid-season form all night long. Same goes for their opener in 2020, a 3-0 sweep of the Conestoga Condors. Cooper Evelyn with the first touch. She'll get the set for Blanchette off the fingertips of the block. La Chapelle with the dig. And there's Kerstanisic. Who else? The 11th kill on the night for number 7.
And let's not forget that really good dig there by the first year, Alex La Chapelle. She's been absolutely dynamite as the main libero that the Humber has really gone to, with 142 digs coming into this one. That was 6th most in Humber history.
Incredible season for the first year La Chapelle. Huge shoes to fill. Take it over for Kyla Wilkins. Nice play off the net there as Henderson tries to send it over, unable to do so. And And the Sheridan Bruins find themselves on the board. It's 2-1.
Sheridan's going to try their best to not go away quietly here. They're going to try to do what they can to try to take a set off of these Humber Hawks.
A service ace there for Tanny Durev. Service line has been a bit of a nightmare for the Bruins tonight, but they come away with the ace there. Durev with another opportunity from the line in a 2-2 game. Sheridan needs to win this set, or we're all done here from the Hawks' nest. There's Henderson on the far side. Blanchette up to Cooper Evelyn. She'll beat the block, but Petkoff gets to it. Bump set by Watson. Free ball sent over by Bartman. Blanchette in the middle. She goes, and that one's down. Catherine Conkle getting it done for the Bruins.
And maybe finally starting to find that rhythm with that meter ball set is Conkle, as that one doing a really good job putting out everything she could into that one and finding a good spot on the court.
Conkle leading the Bruins with 13 points their last time out against Fanshawe. She's been playing some good ball. There's Krstanicic. Speaking of good ball, there's another one, making an even dozen for Alice Krstanicic. Trying to stake her claim to the second back-to-back player of the game. She's well on her way.
Oh yeah, you're exactly right. She absolutely leading everybody on the court with 12 kills. She's having another dynamite game here at the Hawks' Nest.
Blanchette looking for help. She'll find it. Cooper Evelyn, that one floats over. We got ourselves a whistle. And it will be a net violation charged against the Hawks. A free point for the Bruins. They find themselves with a rare lead. It's 4-3.
And if you're Sheridan, you gotta think, hey, we'll take that and we gotta run with it here, as they're seen with their first lead, and maybe a little bit of a commentator's curse there as Matthews puts that one right into the net.
Right on cue, Matthews with the service error, so that lead certainly short-lived by the Bruins. 4-4 game now. We'll see who can come away with it. The star, Krstanicic, with a service ace to add to her stat sheet. What a day for number 7.
Yeah, Krstanicic absolutely mowing him down, whether it's at the net, laying down a kill, or at the service line. She's doing it all here in this one.
Fun to watch. Krstanicic, third-year veteran. Blanchette goes over on 2. Alex with the first touch. Bartman back set to Watson. That one drops down in front of Romans, and the Hawks front court is just toying with Sheridan at the moment.
Yeah, especially when you can go to 2 dominating hitters that are Watson and Krstanicic. Can really be a dangerous thing when you're on the Sheridan side of the court. You don't really know which barrel of the shotgun is going to fire.
That one from the backcourt. Hawks scrambling. Bartman gets it over to Henderson. Romans, Blanchette, now Cooper Evelyn for the Bruins. Brought up by Henderson. Here's Bartman looking for Petkoff. Off the block she goes. Williams off the net. Bartman to Watson going cross court. And that one's down. Drop in front of Terry Matthews. Another kill for Julia on the day. Make that 6.
Yeah, Julia Watson doing a really good job showing why she is one of the best attackers on the Humber Hawks, using every inch of the court, whether it's going short side or far side. She's one of the best.
Far side to Cooper Evelyn. That one's put up by Matthews. Blanchette over in 1. Not fooling Hannah Petkoff. Nice set there by Bartman. Matthews, Blanchette over in 2 once more. Off the net it goes. These Hawks are scrambling. Backcourt hit by Krstanicic. Cooper Evelyn through the block and down. A pretty active rally. Ends in a point for the Bruins. They're keeping this one tight. Now 7-5.
Yeah, Cooper Evelyn doing everything she can, keep her team in it, as they are really starting to go to her on the attack a little bit more, as that one worked successfully.
Cooper Evelyn, surprisingly, with just 1 kill on the day. Bit of an off night for her. LaChapelle with the bump set. Over it goes, and that one's just long. Haley Henderson, good work by the Sheridan backcourt, just letting that one sail along.
Yeah, just narrowly out the back end of the court, as whenever you are in your deeper end of the court and you can still get a little bit of a hit off, it's usually pretty A-okay, but that time just not working out for the Humber Hawks.
Line drive serve. Bartman finds Williams in the middle. That one's just popped over. Blanchette in the middle. Popped up by Bartman. LaChapelle looking for the assist to Watson. She'll put that one into the netting. A rare miss hit for Julia.
And Sheridan climbing back into this one, tying it up here in set number 3, 7-all.
All tied up. This one looking pretty similar to set number 1. Eventually the Hawks were able to pull away. But the Bruins playing them tight, trying to stay alive here inside the Hawks' nest. Not a great first touch by Petkoff. Bartman tried to go right back to her, but that bump sails under the net. So another point for Sheridan as they regain the lead, 8-7.
A little bit of late life on that serve from Cooper Evelyn, throwing off the Humber passers a little bit.
Hasn't had a great day in the front court, at least by her standards, but has been strong on the service line. Dig by LaChapelle. Bartman dives for it. Bumped over by Watson. To the net it goes. That one's over top of the block. Henderson tried to reach out, but the Hawks a little bit out of position here as the Bruins take a 2-point lead. Things just don't seem as tight, as technical for the Hawks in these last few points, Matt. Trying to get things back under the wraps.
Yeah, just pass number 1 needs to be there for Humber, and it just hasn't quite been the past couple of services, but that's going to be it for Cooper Evelyn on the service line as that one goes into the net.
Fortunately for the Hawks, that gets Tamia off the line. Julia Watson now for Humber, looking for a run of her own. That serve is over. Cooper Evelyn towards the net. Blanchette to Abrahams. LaChapelle, Bartman, Cheyenne Williams, far side. Mark that one down as a kill for number 12.
My goodness, Cheyenne Williams really does a good job. Even when she's not quite in position for the hit, she really does a good job using those long legs of hers to get over there as far as she can to put herself in the best position possible for a good kill.
6'1", tallest player on the floor, moves well. Cheyenne Williams, a force on the line, and Bartman, a force as a setter as she goes over and 2, catching the Bruins flat-footed. The middle of that Bruins defense was wide open.
Yeah, pretty much the entire heart of the court was just asking for Bartman to lay one in there as she just nicely goes off the fingertips into the giant hole.
Heads up play by Bartman. That's a good-looking kill. That'll bounce off Haley Henderson and down as the Bruins able to knock this one back up at 10.
And Conkle being a really big part here late in this one for the Sheridan Bruins. They haven't quite been able to go to their real star player, Cooper Evelyn, but Conkle has been doing a really good job picking up that little bit of slack that has been there for the Sheridan Bruins.
Conkle trying to keep her impressive day going. Henderson corrals that touch. Julia Watson for the backcourt, just over the net. Pushed over. LaChapelle to Bartman. Now's Williams. Once again, that heart of the Bruins defense wide open. Cheyenne Williams taking advantage.
Yeah, and the Bruins definitely thinking they were going to get a little bit more mustard from Cheyenne Williams there. Maybe just going a little bit too much off the fingertips. Didn't quite get all of it. As, yeah, we see that sort of drop into the heart of the court once again for Humber.
Mentioned how well she moved. She was at a full run getting to that ball. Abrahams on the far side, popped up by Watson. Let's see where this one heads. It's Henderson. Romans gets it up for the Bruins. Far side, Abrahams. And that one goes off of Chris Wilkins, and I'll tell you what, he's standing out of bounds, so give that point to the Humber Hawks.
And we're going to try to get everybody on the court as Humber and into the game, even if Chris Wilkins tries to get into the game himself.
Coach sharp as always, flashing the reflexes there. A good-looking serve is down. That one went out of bounds, but deflected off the arm of Tamia Cooper Evelyn. So mark down a service ace for number 10, Hannah Petkoff.
And Petkoff showing a little bit of movement on that serve as that was tailing a little bit further away from Cooper Evelyn. She couldn't quite get the arms on it.
In the middle it goes. That one's off the block point for the Bruins, off the hand of Tandy Durev.
Good defensive effort there by Humber, reading that hit all the way through, but just wasn't quite tight enough to the net as that one's going to drop in front of them.
The setter, Blanchette, on the line, 13-11, the Hawks lead. LaChapelle deflects that one out of bounds. The sure-handed libero couldn't get to that one. So Sheridan back within one here. Blanchette has been active, getting the second touch for the Bruins on the night. Second touch to Bartman. Cheyenne Williams moving to her right side once more. Going off the block and getting another point. How many times have we seen that, Matt? A back set by Bartman. Cheyenne Williams moving to her right and getting the job done.
Yeah, that back set has really been working wonders no matter who's behind the setter, Alex Bartman, whether it's Watson or Cheyenne Williams, as that one's just gonna narrowly squeak over top of the net for Cheyenne Williams' service ace.
Been that kind of day for Cheyenne Williams. Everything has been going her way. Not an idealistic service ace, but it'll count just the same. 15-12. Williams will follow up the ace with a service error. 15-13 is your score. Williams gonna take a seat. La Chapelle, the libero, back in the game for the Hawks.
Yeah, Williams deservingly so, getting a little bit of water in, as they're gonna be looking for her to continue her solid game.
Looking for help in the middle, it's Kirstanicic. Blanchette digs that one out. Romans up to Abrahams. And that one is in, finding that back court. Not an easy spot on the floor for number 10 to let that one go, but Abrahams gets it done for her side.
Yeah, Abrahams hasn't quite been as sure-handed on the attack. That's her first kill of the evening. And unfortunately, can't get her service going as that one's going into the net.
Well, if you want to kind of sum up this game, that bounce by Cheyenne Williams off the top of the net and over. And then Sheridan comes back. Abrahams with the same thing that drops down on their side. Just hasn't been Sheridan's night, but down just 2 here in set number 3. And speaking of bounces, how about another one? Service ace for the Hawks.
Yeah, you could definitely say this is a game of bounces, as all of them have been going the Humber's way here. As, yeah, that's just one of those things, if you're the Bruins, you just kind of have to shake off, not really worry about, and just focus on making sure that that first pass is right to the center.
First pass by Roman stays in the back court. Cooper Evelyn just going to have to give up that free ball. Bartman in the middle. Kirstanicic off the block, and finally the Bruins find an answer for Kirstanicic as that one stuffed blocked right back in her face.
Yeah, Matthews doing a really good job on that read, reading all the way that it was going to come from the middle hitter. And a big block there by Bruins. That's definitely going to get a little bit of momentum in the sails of the powder blue.
La Chapelle to Bartman. Back set Henderson. That one's dug out by Abrahams. Cooper Evelyn just floating over the block. Nice work by Bartman to lay out for it. We have ourselves a whistle, and the points being awarded to the Bruins.
Yeah, it seems Humber went underneath the net, crossing over into the Bruins side of the court. Unfortunate there for Humber, as it'll be Humber now only up by 1.
Good looking pancake by Bartman goes unrewarded. She'll get the touch here, looking for Henderson off the block. But the point goes towards Humber as a violation charge against Sheridan. 18-16, the Hawks lead here. Trying to close out a 3-set sweep. This one much tighter than the first 2. This one right on the net. Kirstanicic awful close to that one. Ball still alive. A late whistle, took a while. 4-touch violation is the call. Point once again for the Hawks. So once again, these violations reared its ugly head for the Bruins. They found themselves very much in this set 3, but now it's getting away from them. Anderson sends it over. Abrahams to Blanchette in the middle. That's a good looking strike off the hand of Catherine Conkle. Sheridan still alive.
Yeah, about as good as you could draw it up there for the Sheridan Bruins. 1, 2, 3, really good pass, really good set, and a nice hit there from the middle hitter.
Matthews with the float serve. Bartman looking for a friend. She'll find one, and Julia Watson. Number 20's on the board from the big right arm of Julia Watson.
And Humber really doing a good job switching up their game plan from the attack. The first 2 sets, they've been really trying to bury that ball in the back court. But now that Sheridan has really started to play a little bit further back, they've been starting to find that big open section right in the middle of the court, and they've been capitalizing.
Hawks scramble, but keep it alive. In the middle, it's Conkle once again, and she'll put another one on the board as Catherine Conkle is keeping her side in it. Hawks 5 points away from the sweep.
Sheridan is not going away quietly. They're definitely going to want to try to take one from these Humber Hawks. as it's going to be Tamia Cooper-Evelyn from the service line. She had a little bit of a run in the second set.
Here's Watson with an opportunity. She'll go off the block, off the handle, Romans, and under the net. That's a big point for the Hawks. They certainly needed that one. Now up 3 as they march towards 25.
And a couple more to go here for the Humber Hawks, as it's going to be Julia Watson.
That serve is over. First touch, Cooper-Evelyn. Far side to Abrahams off the block of Cheyenne Williams. Add another to her total. Backcourt, Cooper-Evelyn. Julia Watson gets that one up. LaChapelle calls off Bartman. Pushed over by the Bruins. Scramble at the net. Williams keeps it alive. Some confusion here by the Bruins. Another free ball. Some sloppy volleyball, but this play's still alive. Cheyenne Williams somehow keeps it up. Williams with the first touch. Here's Henderson. Near side, it's Petkoff. And that one's off the hands of Matthews. Not one of the prettier rallies you'll see all season long, but hey, Hawks get it done, 22-18.
Yeah, both teams showing off the athleticism, scrambling on both sides of the court, doing whatever they can to get that point, as it's going to come down for the Humber Hawks as Petkoff puts that one away.
Certainly a point to remember, as that's a good-looking serve, and mark it down as an ace for Julia Watson. The Hawks' offensive leader coming up big when they need her most.
In for the Hawks, number 14, Danielle Miles. And number 3, Lauren Schneider.
Lauren Schneider and Danielle Miles gonna get some playing time as the Hawks close in on the sweep. 2 points away from closing this one out. 23-18 is your score. Lauren Schneider and the fresh legs. Second-year player gonna have the service here. Jump serve is over. Romans with the touch. Blanchette in the middle to Conkle. That's off the block, off the net, and down. Humber getting it done. Now 1 point away.
Yeah, good job there by Schneider coming to the game a little cold and doing a really good job making sure she gets that good serve over the net, as Sheridan Bruins just scrambling there. Couldn't quite get their feet underneath them there.
That one. Yeah, just out by Schneider. Wanted to finish that one with a cross-court ace, but just missed her mark. So here we go, 24-19. Catherine Conkle on the line for the Bruins, trying to keep them alive. LaChapelle, there's Lauren Schneider. Cheyenne Williams trying to close the show, unable to do so. Blanchette, now Abrahams, and that one's out, and that will do it. 25-19, your final score here in set number 3. And the Humber Hawks work hard to pick up a sweep against the crosstown rival Sheridan Bruins.
Yeah, Humber showing off the really solid play on both sides of the ball, whether it was at the service line, attacking or defending, doing it all, showing off the depth and pulling off another solid win here for the ladies in white.
What a night for the ladies at times in this game. Sheridan kept them awful close, but time and time again when push came to shove, it was the Humber Hawks coming away victorious. As you see the handshake line featuring the men's team, they're due up in about 50 minutes time for their game. But what a night for the women here. You gotta imagine player of the game. I'm gonna throw my vote out there. Alex Krstanisic was absolutely spectacular again here tonight. Likely gonna double up.
Yeah, exactly. And if it wasn't Krstanisic, it definitely would have been Cheyenne Williams, showing off what the Bruins have lost with the transfer of schools. But just a really solid effort there by the Humber Hawks.
Just heard it over the loudspeakers there. Number 7, Alex Krstanisic is your player of the game. Incredibly well deserved as she goes back to back. So the Humber Hawks, now win streak up to 7. We'll see what that does for their provincial and national rankings, as they're really shooting up those ranks, trying to catch up to that undefeated Fanshawe Falcon team. We'll take a look here at some of the action on this 3-set game. Humber Hawks getting it done. 3 straight set sweeps. What a game it's been. We're going to be back for some more action about 50 minutes time as the Humber men take on the Sheridan Bruins. Well, that'll do it for us. Thanks for tuning in for all of us at H&N. On behalf of myself, Adam Lucier, and my buddy Matt Caldwell, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you shortly.